The Nigerian government is in panic mode after a viral video suggested that the United States has begun acting on its threats. The video, which spread like wildfire across social media, appeared to show U.S. soldiers landing on Nigerian soil, reportedly in Bonny Island, Rivers State. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag US Army in Nigeria and hashtag Trump was serious began trending, fueling speculation that America had finally stepped in to confront the worsening crisis that has turned parts of Nigeria into war zones. The reaction from Abuja was immediate and unusually defensive. Presidential aides, army spokespersons, and pro-government media accounts rushed to dismiss the footage as fake. The presidency, through its senior special assistant on media and publicity, Bayo Onanuga, released a late-night statement insisting that no foreign military has landed anywhere in Nigeria. But it was the tone of the response, not just the message, that caught everyone's attention. You could almost sense the tension. Nigeria's leadership still reeling from global scrutiny after Donald Trump accused the government of complicity in a Christian genocide, suddenly found itself battling an image crisis it could not control. For a government that often ignores viral news, this particular video triggered something deeper: fear. Because even though the footage may have been false, the idea behind it wasn't. That the world, especially the US, has finally lost patience with Nigeria's endless bloodshed and political excuses. The video itself wasn't long, just under a minute, showing uniformed men disembarking from boats, voices in the background shouting that the Americans have arrived, but it wasn't verified. Onanuga's statement called the clip a dangerous fabrication designed to incite public panic. Yet, social media users pushed back. If it's fake, why the rush to deny it? One user wrote. This government reacts faster to rumors than to killings. It was a fair point. The same government that struggles to respond to attacks in Plateau or Kaduna within days managed to issue multiple press releases in less than 24 hours over a viral video. That contrast spoke volumes about the growing insecurity inside the corridors of power. Just hours before the controversy peaked, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu met with the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III, at the presidential villa. Officially, the meeting was about national peace and unity. Unofficially, it was about damage control. Sources inside the presidency told journalists the meeting was urgent, called after intelligence briefings warned that Trump's recent statements had emboldened foreign and domestic critics who now see Nigeria as a failed state tolerating terror. Tinubu later posted on his official X handle that Nigeria's unity is non-negotiable and our sovereignty remains intact. His statement, though carefully worded, carried a defensive undertone. He praised the military's gallant efforts and urged citizens to ignore foreign distractions. But to many Nigerians, the message felt hollow. They've heard this before. Every time another massacre happens, every time the government denies responsibility, every time the world raises concern, what they want is action, not rhetoric. It's impossible to separate this panic from Trump's recent remarks. Just days earlier, the US president declared that record numbers of Christians are being killed in Nigeria and warned that the US would not remain silent. His words reverberated across global media, reigniting debates about the violence in northern Nigeria. Many saw the viral video of US soldiers as a symbolic manifestation of that warning. Proof, even if false, that the world was watching and might finally act. Washington has, in recent months, increased scrutiny of Nigeria's human rights record, defense spending, and terror-related finances. The US State Department has confirmed that billions in military aid are being reassessed due to lack of transparency. Behind the scenes, analysts believe Trump's team is pushing for tougher policies, including sanctions on Nigerian officials accused of sponsoring or enabling terror. That's why the rumor of American troops arriving hit so hard, because even if it wasn't true, Abuja's leadership knows it could easily become true. Then came another shock. An American investigative journalist released footage and satellite data alleging that Fulani terrorist camps are operating near Nigerian military installations. In one chilling statement, he claimed, over 200 people are being held hostage in a camp not far from a Nigerian army outpost. The terrorists are armed with heavy weapons, yet the army does nothing. This is not ignorance, this is complicity. The journalist's findings matched what local villagers have long whispered, that armed groups move freely across large parts of the northwest and central regions, often untouched by military patrols. Some locals even claim that certain attacks happen shortly after security checkpoints are mysteriously withdrawn. Those reports add to growing international suspicion that parts of Nigeria's security apparatus are compromised, that instead of defeating terrorism, some within the system are feeding it. When Tinubu met with the Sultan, the images were cordial, but insiders described the atmosphere as tense. The Sultan, Nigeria's most influential Islamic leader, reportedly warned that the growing perception of government bias in religious violence could have grave international consequences. Beyond the politics and denials, something deeper is happening. The viral video, fake or not, tapped into a very real fear that Nigeria is losing control of its own narrative, its own territory, and perhaps its own sovereignty. Every denial from the presidency, every press statement from the military feels less like reassurance and more like a reflex. A government trying to convince itself that it still holds power. But power isn't measured by statements. It's measured by security, justice, and trust. And right now, the Nigerian government has none of those. The real problem isn't the rumor of American soldiers landing. It's why so many Nigerians wished it were true. It's because citizens have lost faith that their own leaders can protect them. In the end, the government's panic says more than the video ever could. Because when a nation's rulers fear the idea of truth more than the pain of lies, it means they know the ground beneath them is shifting. Abuja's silence in the face of mass killings, its endless excuses, and its attempts to suppress international criticism have built a wall of distrust that no press release can fix. Nigeria's leaders have spent years denying what the world already knows, that the country is being eaten from within by corruption, complicity, and cowardice. And now that denial has reached its breaking point. Because one day soon, it might not be a fake video. It might be real foreign soldiers, real accountability, real consequences. And when that day comes, the world will not ask for permission. It will simply act. Until then, every rumor, every leak, every viral video will remind those in power of a truth they cannot silence, that a government which refuses to defend its people will eventually be defended against.